Hey friends, what's up? And welcome to another video on this YouTube channel. My name is Mina and I am a magic practitioner, healer, shamanic journeyer, and diviner. So today we are going to be focusing and talking all about the full moon in Capricorn happening just a few days from now. So it'll be at its 100% illumination on Monday, June 29th, right around 8 p.m. Eastern time. The moon is moving into the sign of Capricorn earlier that day, right around 3 a.m. And we also have Mercury going retrograde that day, right around 1:30 p.m. All of these in Eastern time, so convert them to your time zone. So there's lots going on. There's sort of this tension between a couple different energies that we're seeing showing up during this full moon. So we're going to get into it today. But before we get into the correspondences, I always like to start the videos off with connecting directly with spirit, our spirit guides, our angelic team, whatever energies and teachers and co-magicians we are working with in order to amplify and accelerate our intuition, psychic abilities, and spiritual wisdom. So I like to do tarot first to see what the spirits have to say before we move into the astrology and correspondences. But if there's something specific that you're wanting to focus on, then I will have chapters listed down in that description box below so you can just quickly navigate to the section that you're most interested in. I will also be posting some short videos just talking about like incantations or correspondences or drawing down the moon or quick card pulls and some of those energies around this full moon time. So if that's something that you're interested in, then of course I invite you to subscribe to this channel so that way you can keep up with some of those videos as they show up if they are relevant to you. So I felt like using this tarot deck would be perfect for this season. This was a gift from my daughter for Yule last year. Nice pink cover. So it's just going to be a version of the Rider-Waite deck, but we're going to use this for our tarot reading. And then I also have the Dragon Wisdom Oracle that I will pull a card for us for the full moon as well. For those of you who are new to this YouTube channel, I work with dragons as part of my spirit guide team. They are teachers and co-magicians and spirit guides for me. So dragon energy will be infused in some of the videos that I post and the conversations that I have. So I'm just going to speed up for a moment so that way I can get into a magical state, and then we will start looking at some of the energies for this full moon. All right, so this is just going to be collective energies for this full moon. It's going to be based around what is showing up for you and me as the collectives, also for those who come across this video. So as always, take what resonates and leave what does not. And I also invite you to activate your own intuition as we share these messages. So that way you can really absorb what resonates and feels true for you, or slightly customize it for what is more relevant and applicable to your life. Alternatively, if you are another reader watching this video, then if you have any additional insight as we are sharing these messages, then feel free to share your thoughts down in that comment section below. So in the center here, we have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands showing up in the center. This is a very fiery energy. The wands are all about what our goals are, what our passions are, what drives us, what fuels us, what motivates us. When it comes to the page cards, it's going to be more so about the reflection of it, the inspiration of it. contemplating and poring over what this looks like in our space right now. Where I'm recording this video, we just passed the summer solstice. So we are in prime manifestation time. You know, we are in a time where the fruits are blooming. This moon is called the strawberry moon because it is the strawberries that we can harvest around this time, depending. I certainly don't have any strawberries growing yet. But it's a great time to pour over our goals and to really sit with, are they relevant? Are they true? Are they applicable? Are they convenient? Are they misguided? Are they misleading? Are they something that is based around cultural expectations and not necessarily something that rings true to our soul? Therefore, making it, great on paper, but somewhat of this tug of war or this conflicting, misaligned energy. Now we have the World card showing up here as a potential blocker in this energy. So this is going to be the potential of life around you. It's also going to represent your situation. There may be a certain cycle that you're in. There may be a certain lesson that is playing out on your individual world stage. There may also be situations happening on the planet right now that are opposing certain goals that you have. The world is in chaos in many aspects, not all, and there are a lot of pockets and moments that we can still have peace, resonance, and magic in our lives. But depending on what things are shifting, what's going on in the world around you, it might be preventing certain aspects from your goals to be able to take place. So it is going to be important to hold space with, are there certain energies playing out in your life that are preventing you from achieving the goals that you had originally set out for that are also outside of your control? If that is the case, then it would be a good time to lean into your spiritual and magical practice, your meditation practice, at a baseline foundation to recalibrate and to ask your guides and your higher self, since these things are showing up in my environment, does that mean that I need to change course? Does that mean that what once held true for my trajectory no longer is in my direct path forward? And if that's the case, then what do I need to shift to now? Or what is going to be still aligned with that general theme while also adopting and integrating the relevant energies based on the environment that I live in? So we have the Ace of Pentacles showing up as an energy to start focusing on releasing. We did see the Ace of Pentacles also showing up in the new moon reading that we did for the month of June. And that was an energy to focus on leaning into at that time. So between leaning into it at that time and then leaning out of it at this time, there had to have been some energy within that time frame that you had gleaned what was next. I know for me, there was something very specific that I was drawn to during this new moon to full moon time frame. And I had used some of my professional development stipend at work to start attending this subscription for it. And so far, I've only done it twice. And both days just really resonated. I felt so good in my body. I felt energized. I felt motivated. I felt excited with what I was learning, even though I was doing more work technically after work, which sometimes can be hard for me to choose to want to do. So for my life, that was clear that that was that Ace of Pentacles for me. It was a new tool to integrate into my life to help make things easier for the different ways that I want to shift what success in my life looks like. This showing up in this full moon is saying, we're done with that. So there's going to be something within your personal life that was within that theme. You know, was it the resonance of like, this is the next step, this is the next move, this is the next ladder on my career journey, you know, or alternatively, I'm getting a lot of resistance in this one area while this other door seems to be opening up. That makes it very clear on where the open pathway is. You know, where is the path of least resistance that is most aligned with the trajectory of my soul, of my goals, what I'm here to share with others. Now, the energy to start focus on bringing in, we see the Nine of Cups. This is a really good energy to start bringing in. This is one of the best cards in the tarot deck. This is known as the wish fulfillment, wish granting card of the tarot deck. In this depiction of the Nine of Cups, you know, the cups are associated with our emotional body. It's our feelings, it's our relationships, it's our connection, it's our alignment. And in this depiction, you can clearly see, sorry, I have hand tremors, so my cards will always shake. But you can clearly see that figure just sitting very proud in front of the row of accomplishments behind him. You know, this is our ability to manifest swiftly, to be aligned with what is the highest timeline for us. It is our wishes coming true. So, as this is an energy to focus on, we are moving to a space of allowing manifestation to take place, of allowing our goals and what our dream life looks like to start moving into our lives. You know, for me personally, I have been really honest with myself about where my gaps have been in my own success-based goals. And that has looked like consistency, discipline, and structure, you know, foundation for certain things. Now, as I realize what has been holding me back, and I put a plan into place to counter that so that way I can start being more regularly consistent within my own goals, I am going to be more aligned and more energetic, resonant with the life that I've always said that I wanted. And so we have to shift our mindset. We have to shift our hearts to say, I'm ready and I'm opening myself up to this and I am moving towards it. You know, we hear so much in today's day and age with so many amazing psychics and channelers and diviners and all of that good stuff. We hear similar messages where the energetic vibration that we emit directly correlates to how our manifestations take place. When they take place, how fast they take place, you know, how often they take place. Our internal energy, our outlook, the stories we tell ourselves, the ways that we move through life directly impact how manifestation takes place. So when that's the case, with a card like this, we're almost there. We've done so much work to improve our mindsets and our outlooks. And Now it's just being in that state of flow more often and opening up the connection to spirit to allow the flow to take place. Because, you know, we can't have it look exactly like what we picture in our mind. We start with an image on what we want. We get the excitement and the frequency and the resonance, and then we open dialogue and this dance with spirit and the universe to allow things to flow and move based on what is most aligned with what we have been focused on. And so that's going to be very, very important during this full moon to move into, to focus towards. Oof, we have the sun. So we have very, very successful cards showing up during this space. This is really interesting how we have so much of this present, even though, you know, we're going to have Mercury in retrograde. You know, there's great resources and blogs and books out on Mercury retrograde and navigating that. Mercury is going to be in retrograde until July 23rd. So just something to be aware of, but it doesn't mean that we are helpless to this retrograde time. It means that we need to be more alert, we need to be more discerning, and we need to be hesitant to react when others in our lives show up in ways of emotional projections, chaos, miscommunication, devious electronics. If you're a magic worker, you know that there was quite a long time where electronics were very affected by energy work. I feel like that hasn't been happening as much in the most recent years, but you know, there was a time where it was very affected. So the sun being at the foundation of this reading for this full moon just says that there is a lot of success and alignment showing up where you have been focused. So this is a confirmation. This is that clarity that, sorry, don't mind my devious cat. Thank you, goodbye. This is confirmation. This is clarity. This is reassurance as you hear these messages that what you have been focused on is aligned for success in your life. And there have been certain things that you have been working towards. You know, you've been working towards being clear. You've been working towards putting a plan into place. You've been working towards these different sides of you. You know, we have the Chariot showing up, and, you know, this card is ruled by Cancer. So we have Cancer, we have Leo, we have, I don't remember which one rules the world. Anyway, we have Cancer and Leo right here, which are two of the zodiac signs that we are in and moving into. So, you know, with the Chariot, it is sort of that push and pull energy, that tug of war energy. And we're going to see some of that showing up in the correspondences that we do here in a minute. So, most important energy to take away from this reading for today. This deck is quite slippery. Slippery, oh my gosh. Okay. Most important energy that we have is the King of Swords. Leading your decisions, not shying away from communicating, owning your thoughts, owning your truth, protecting yourself and others in your charge in relation to what I'm getting is what is going to bring peace. When we protect what is precious to us and we have certain safeguards in place, then it allows more expansion and freedom to focus on what we are trying to create because we're not worried, right? It's like if I left my door open so my cats could escape, I'm going to be so focused on that I'm not going to be focused on, creating an amazing YouTube channel that can help bring people together. So that's kind of the analogy that I'm getting here. Is we have to be mindful of what is priority to us, what our purpose and power is, and how it is meant to impact others, the collective, in what way, and how are we leading and communicating and protecting our peace and space and lives. And a lot of these I do feel are relevant to some of the messages that are around the correspondences. I looked at the correspondences before I did this reading, so it was almost like there was a part of me that was resisting mentioning them because I knew they were going to be part of that. So maybe next time I'll do the reading first, just so that way there isn't this part of me that's like, oh, don't mention this because it'll be showing up next. We'll see. So I do want to get one message here from the Dragon team for the collective to see what do we need to know most right now? What are we most aligned with? What is going to help us on this phase of manifestation in our lives? Here we go. Woo! Temple of the Sun. You can't make this stuff up, right? So we have two cards here that are talking about the sun. This is extreme, friends. This is extreme with alignment, with resonance, with divine timing. Let's read just a little bit of this. So if you draw this card, the sun god himself has invited you to enter his golden temple and to look into the mirror of truth. Boom. Mirror of truth right here. This is a great honor. Prepare for this journey by showering and dressing in white clothing or wearing none at all. And then it has a little prompt as far as what to do with it. So if you want to come back to this part of the video, you can go ahead and do that. And I will read it now. So that way, if you feel called to do this, you can just jump back. Okay, we're going to draw the Star of David on a large sheet of paper, play some calming music, and light 6 gold or white candles. Don't feel like you have to do all that. If you have one candle, that's fine. Or if you close your eyes and picture some candles being lit and inviting the element of fire, that would also be fine. Sit down on the paper and arrange the candles around you, ensuring each star tip points to a candle. Close your eyes and call your personal dragon to you. Ask it to take you to the mirror of truth. Your imagination is a gift from the divine source, so do not be shy about using it. Fly to the sun. The sun god will protect you from the heat and bright light. Your dragon delivers you to the entrance of the Golden Temple. Dismount and enter the temple alone, where you will see a large gold mirror. Take your time, walk slowly to the mirror, stand in front of it, look into it, and recognize yourself as a dragon rider. See the gown you wear as a dragon rider, the color of your hair, and the items you carry with you, your jewelry or ritual objects. This is you. Take this image deep into your heart and hear the voice of the sun god as he tells you, you are the light that your world needs. You are the light that your world needs. Now turn around and return to your dragon. Look into its large and loving eyes and recognize the joy in them. It is so glad to see you in the gown that you wear as a dragon rider. Thank the sun god and let your dragon take you home. You are the light that this world needs. I love that. And everything about this reading is really aligned with that as well. You know, we have adopted, we have taken into account, we have, had certain energies that are leading us to be more brave in how we pave a path that has never potentially been created before. So beautiful energies. If there is a specific aspect that really resonates with you, of course, feel free to share it down in that comment section below. We had quite a few major arcana cards as well. We had the World, we had the Chariot, we had the Sun. We had the Ace of Pentacles moving out and the Nine of Cups moving in. So there is this energy between emotion and possession, physical body, emotional body. What are we so concerned with in our human existence versus what is our heart really calling us to do, and trying to find a balance in those spaces. And so I have some of my notes here just to share with you about this full moon and what's showing up here. So the full moon is in Capricorn. It occurs at 8 degrees Capricorn, which directly opposes the sun at 8 degrees Cancer. So we have this tension, we have this teeter-totter between work and home, professional and personal, physical, emotional, so personal life versus our public life. This tension and opportunity also shows up where there's a T-square with Neptune in Aries. So Neptune is all about amplifying the illusion and unrealistic expectations. And whatever needs to be adjusted so that way we can be more aligned with growth, dedication, and restructuring our lives. So this is a perfect time for a recalibration. This is a perfect time for reflection. This is perfect time for emotional space holding and to really take stock of where our life is currently. Are we so focused in one area that it's not allowing us any space for play and passion in the other? Do we need to kind of pull some of our energy away from areas that are not feeding us so that way we can redistribute that energy in a place for what actually does? Jupiter is also at its final degree in Cancer, so this expansion is going to bring a little bit more emotion during this time frame, which is just fine, because if our emotions bring manifestation and we are focusing on allowing our emotions to come forward, then this Jupiter energy at the last degree is going to be sort of that finale in that space as we wind up the year of Jupiter in Cancer. This moon is also known as a micromoon. So it's going to appear further away due to its position near the apogee. So that is the place furthest away from the Earth. So it might appear smaller, but it doesn't mean that it's any less impactful or mighty. It just might show up more as a whisper versus a roar. And then also we have Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So it's going to be all about reflecting, reassessing around home and personal issues. Retrograde can bring some miscommunication. It can bring some chaotic energies. Things appear to be reversed or setbacks could take place. In the reading, that's why I mentioned when we are very attuned to what is going on within our soul and our lives, we can navigate through that space pretty well outside of things that are completely outside of our control, like, electronics or, delays in mail or something like that. But we can choose how we respond to it. We can choose how we react to it or not react to it. And we can also learn to recognize it in others and then not take it personally. So don't see this Mercury retrograde as a way to prevent you from doing your full moon workings. But I would say that since it is 101 when I looked at my watch, that's kind of cool. I would say that since the moon is happening on Monday, Moon Day, and we have so many energies around the sun that we saw, it might be a great idea to do your full moon working before Mercury goes into retrograde on Monday afternoon by doing your full moon workings maybe late Sunday night instead. So I always like to do my full moon workings right before the moon is at its 100% illumination. This is going to give a quick boost and a fast track to your manifestation goals with whatever that looks like. And also you'll be able to do your workings before Mercury goes into retrograde, kind of let everything manifest as the full moon reaches its 100% illumination. And then as we move past that and then into waning time period, then, Mercury will be in retrograde during that time and certain things will just move as they need to. And then it's up to us to really focus on our reflecting on what life is reporting back to us as we're going through this movement. So if there's something specific that you are working to manifest, if you had any additional thoughts or messages that showed up in this reading, feel free to list them down in that comment section below. That is yours to share as you see fit. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so you can stay up to date with videos as they come out. This is Mina. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Stay wild and spooky, but most of all, stay magical. I will see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye.